12, you figured that out? All right. Good job. All right. Did my job like that. You fired me after the first game. So.
Year 7. Yeah.
Year 7? Okay. David?
Use that at the stadium too.
I was just scared another crew's going to come walking in here. That's what
Making work. That was one of yours. What time with the schedule is always so different. When did you get in last night, and what is how is today different?
I got to the facility here last night about 9, but today's a Wednesday. Tomorrow's a Thursday. Wednesday will be a Saturday.
Let's condense on that too. I mean, as far as what you.
Oh yeah, no, I mean we're not going to be able to do everything. Like today, we're going to be in hats and cleats. We're going to be able to get outside, but we'll do the same number of reps that we did on Wednesday practice. We'll just minus. We'll miss a walkthrough that we normally have. Tomorrow we'll get everything. We'll get 2 walkthroughs in a practice, but it'll be in a jog-through mode. And then Wednesday will be an extended Saturday day. We'll have more meeting time than we normally would on a Saturday, but we'll have the full speed work. So.
This is quite different than it was your first year here when you started doing this, right?
2020?
Schedule, yeah.
Oh yeah, God, I don't know, maybe 21. I don't even count 2020. I couldn't even. Yeah, 2020. That was a hard week there. You know, with everything that happened with Marcus and everything. So, but schedule-wise, no, I think it's not too far off of what we've done. I've had some experience with the Thanksgiving game, in the past, and played up there a number of times in Detroit. So, but this is similar to how I've always done it.
Clarence Hill, Fort Star Telegram. You said you got here at 9. Did you go home? You spend the night?
No, I went home. Yeah, I came here from the airport. Just got everything ready for tomorrow.
Right.
And then went home.
When you got here at 9, you just stayed a couple hours.
Well, yes, what time we got in? Yeah.
I was just clarifying. You didn't spend the night here. I'm sorry.
No. But I was back here at 5:15. If you must know. Okay. Yeah. And I had a Brad Schottenheimer, a hot white chocolate mocha. Yeah, and I was embarrassed to go in and get it. So you can talk to him about that. So.
That was not manly enough white chocolate mocha.
Well, it's black coffee, man. It's Texas.
There you go. Deron Bland, I'm sure you guys had confidence, and there was a question about him, and what he's continuing to be able to do. Are you surprised? I mean,
I don't know why we keep talking about him as a surprise. I mean, he's been playing, top-notch football now, going on his second year. I mean, it just, if you look at the interception too, I mean, it's his anticipation to cut that angle. That's smart, very instinctive football player. It's obviously tied to record. We recognized him today in the team meeting, so he's having a great year.
How's a guy like that drop to the 5th round?
We got a game this week, don't we?
Mike Todd, Archer, the ESPN. Back to the schedule for a second.
Yeah.
Because everything is so condensed,
Yes.
is a game plan condensed, or is it a normal, you have the same amount of plays that you have in a normal week?
Well, without saying anything, last week we went a little heavier, so in the situational packages. So we had we had extra calls in the third down, extra calls in the red zone that clearly I was not going to run in the game. So at least they were introduced. They were in the plan was part of the process. So today's plan is a normal size, but there's a tremendous amount of carryover, because obviously you build up for these opportunities.
And guys have talked about being able to sleep at home the night before games. What made you switch it and want to go to that? And was it after the Tampa game last year that you switched it all?
Yes, I mean it's pretty clear what's gone on since we did switch. But it's really is my experience in my first job. Marty Schottenheimer, 1993 to 98, we slept at home, and every place that I've been, actually Jim you had the option to sleep at home or sleep at the hotel. And I, actually in Green Bay, I met with the leadership council, and they didn't want to sleep at home, just because, but everything's 5 minutes away up there, so it's a different deal. They just like the routine of it. So, but I just think there's tremendous benefit of it. We've adjusted our schedule on Saturday, and Cooper Rush and I were just talking about this downstairs. It's not only the ability to sleep at home, but it's also the ability to get home early enough to get a nap. So these guys they're getting a nap in their own bed. And, they're in bed early, and so and you could feel it. You could feel it in the locker room. Like our home locker room is. I mean, I enjoy it. The music's. It starts off in my generation. Then by the time they all get here, it's there's just a tremendous amount of energy, and I think that's part of it too. I think when you do have a chance to go home, there's the excitement of getting up and getting going. So I think we all sleep better in our own bed.
Mike.
Michael Gelkin, Dallas Morning News. Terrence Steele had that block in the run game yesterday where he blocked 2 guys in open space, dislodged his own helmet in the process. To you, is that classic Steele, and how do you feel he's responding these past couple of games?
I think he's really the last 2 weeks is that's who we're talking about. I think he's made some adjustments. And we've talked about his injury. I really don't want to get into specifics of that, but we're obviously very, very high on Terrence, his work ethic and his play style. And as I've said, a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about him, I mean, he's still going to go through the first, of everything this year, coming off of a major joint injury. But yes, he's made some big splash plays. Actually, I had a chance to talk to Jake Delhomme and Luke Kuechly before the game, and they do the home, the radio for the Panthers, and Terrence is one of the guys I brought up. Just his play style and his ability to get out in space. Both our tackles. So, but yeah, I'm glad to see him having success.
Sean.
Like Mike, on the scheduling thing, taking the opponents aside, just this entire chunk of the schedule where, like you said, you went heavy last week, then you have a Thursday game, then you have a long week. I'm assuming after Philadelphia it gets a little bit more normal again, but do you as a coach have to basically plan for this from, like, I guess a week ago, look forward a whole month and see how you're going to kind of, whether it's teach concepts or rest guys, things like that? How much did that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's really, once the schedule comes out, once you get training camp set, that's the next thing I work on is the schedule for the season. So there's a whole projected schedule that's done probably somewhere in the summer. It's probably completed in the beginning of training camp. So every practice, every meeting, everything's laid out. But when you get to this point, there's a plan A and a plan B. Because your healthier football team is a number one, in my opinion. So I think you learn from your experiences. I tweaked this week's schedule this morning. Because we're getting ready to go into we'll go into a winter schedule when we come back for Philadelphia. So and there's a couple components on the Thursday winter schedule that actually I'll introduce tomorrow. So I have different schedules, and it's more plug and play, where I use them, and I'm just really focusing on this rest and recovery, because I mean it's a challenge. I mean the travel is something that I didn't have my hands around in 21. So 2020 was just it was a different year with the pandemic and everything. But I know after 2021, I says I got to build in more recovery time, and I think we're better in 22, and the goal is to be even better this year.
I think the recovery time, obviously, physically makes sense, but do you also have to mentally, or for players mentally, make sure that they're getting whatever breaks or whatever is needed and not going, I guess, ahead?
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. I think you do that on any schedule, regardless what time of year. I think one of the good things about the CBA is, the players do, have an easier schedule. You can see the benefit of them being done at 7 o'clock, in training camp. Because their energy, in my opinion, has been a lot better in the mornings in training camp. So that is one of the things I do like. I wish we could take an hour siesta and put it right in the middle of the day, but that ain't going to happen. We know that. But I just think there's, these are changes that have been, made that are very beneficial to the players. And I think I know I would think every coach has to be very cognizant of that and try to maximize it. And I know, and now working with Britt Brown and Harold Nash, we have a good system in place of, how we regulate the GPS, how it's applied to the upcoming schedule. We obviously had the numbers from yesterday's game, and so we watch all the indicators, look at all the numbers, but also your bartenders, those guys down on the first floor, they know the players best. They're with them all the time, so just got to listen to all your information.
Scholar.
Skyler Dixon with the AP. Zach Martin said today some people may think the schedule's starting to wind down a little bit, but the real football starts at Thanksgiving. What do you think about that?
I agree with him 100%. I think this is the toughest time of year, and people remember, everybody remembers November, and December is when it really counts. So, no, I agree with him 100%.
Josh.
Justin on is perfect on that. Like, Mike, can you talk about Cavante Turpin and how he has this ability to kind of flip the switch when he's on the field and just laser focused, his mindset when he's playing, and kind of how that's grown throughout the last year that you've seen?
Yeah, I think clearly he just needed an off season. He arrived, second week of training camp, or whenever he arrived out there in Oxnard last year, and and obviously did a great job with special teams. But we want him to be a receiver, and he has answered the call there. So very, very happy with Terp. He's a joy to coach. He has tremendous energy. Obviously, he's so dynamic with the ball in his hands, but he's really figured it out. So there's when you have different personnel groups going in and out, and he's part of that now too. He's part of the normal flow of the game. So he's doing a great job.
Jarrett.
Garrett Podell, CBS Sports. Mike, you coached Charles Woodson in 2009 when he won Defensive Player of the Year. He led the league in picks and pick sixes. I know Charles is a Hall of Famer, but DeRon Bland is doing that right now in those categories. What similarities, if any, are there the way Charles played that year when he won the award and the way DeRon Bland's playing right now?
Well, one thing with Charles, and what's neat is Joe Witt's coached both guys now, and obviously Al Harris and Joe and Charles were all together. So there are some cool similarities, and one of the things that Joe was telling me, I think it was in Friday's practices, and it's something that really they started up in Green Bay, where it was like, hey, how many concepts do you have, or how many things you really dialed into? And I know going into the game, Joe felt that there was two that they could really jump on, and as far as the crossing routes and so forth. So that that's something that those guys played a little different level, and it's the film study, the instincts, the awareness. But Charles was obviously a complete player, but a lot like DB, just the ball skills, and more importantly, but when they got the ball in their hands, they were dynamic to put in the end zone. So.
Jacob Dedmore, the ticket. Going back to the game planning for this week specifically, does it help you guys to get game plan knowing you have a known opponent with a known coaching staff that you're familiar with?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I agree with that. I think having a common opponent is I'll say easier, preferred. So, but it's just like anything. Every team's trying to evolve during the course of the season. I have a lot of respect for Ron. Obviously Jack Del Rio's done it for a long time too. So you have a lot of veteran leadership and and experience there, and I was talking about it today in the quarterback room. So but it's a tough game for both teams. Especially today. The guys are, they really don't start getting their bodies back till Wednesday. So it'll be important to have the right amount of work on Wednesday, and everybody's excited. Once Thursday gets here, but these couple days are a tough stretch.
Jordan Lewis, Thursday's game will be the 10th that he's played this season. He had a forced fumble yesterday. What do you think he, in terms of just maybe the way he's wired or otherwise, has been able to have a sort of rebound season from that injury that he has had?
It's just who he is. I mean, Jordan's just. He's as tough as they come. He's his competitiveness. In the respect that he has in a locker room, it tells the whole story. So, to me, it's just him being him. It's incredible. We've talked time and time again because when we all saw the initial surgery, after the injury, that was a huge injury. So, his comeback has been awesome, and it's great to see him back out there and just playing ball like he always has.
With the injury, guys, today, is it hard to get a read on him because it's just walked through? Any concerns with CD's ankle The coach is back for you for game?
Not high concern because it's Monday, so probably, I think I'll have a better feel Wednesday when because we're not going to ask them to, open up until Wednesday. So, I mean, today's regulated, tomorrow's, even more regulated. So,
Scholar.
Outlook on Peyton Hendershot at this point?
yeah, had a full week of practice. Obviously it'll be a short week this week, but I just felt that he wasn't quite ready, last week. So, he probably won't get a real chance until Wednesday to get moving and so forth. But he feels good, so that's the most important thing.
Is it?
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.